June 12th, when the vote occurred and the lease was approved, what were the feelings that you had at that time?
Relief.
In 2011, you accepted the case on DWSD. Tell us a little bit about why you did that and what were your feelings at the time?
I was assigned the case by blind draw. That means it was randomly assigned by our court. Any of the judges could have received the case, but it ended up being drawn to me.
So it wasn't your life ambition to take this case?
Not at all. Not at all. And when I received the case, it took me about 6 weeks to go through the file. The file was incredible. As you can imagine, over 30 years of litigation. And one of my primary purposes was to end federal oversight, really return the control of the water and sewer department entirely to Detroit. The director, Mr. Mercado, had left, I believe, in 2008. So they had no director for 2.5 years, if you can imagine that. And you looked at the organizational chart, there was these huge holes. After a series of negotiations, we came up with a new structure. Mayor Kirkpatrick put on individuals who, without really any input from the suburbs or the other service communities. And we changed that to where, and I ordered that, you had to have certain minimal qualifications to serve on the Board of Water Commissioners, 7 years of experience in banking, engineering, or law, under leadership of Jim Fasone and the board. You've seen dramatic changes in how the water and sewer department have been run since 2011. And in my opinion, and I was certainly aware of it when I entered into mediation in this case, I thought it was dysfunctional. You had 40 to 50 individuals in a room trying to negotiate this deal, and 3/4 of the individuals were lawyers, most of whom were from out of state, okay. New York, and you had no decision makers. Lease the DWSD to a private entity where all the lease payments were not going into the system to improve the system, rather were going to pay off Detroit debt.
I'm impressed that you decided personally to take on this role. So you personally conducted these interviews. You didn't send a consultant or assistant or a clerk in to do these conversations.
No, because I think I wanted to develop relationships with, I wanted to hear directly from those individuals what their vision was.
What were some of the biggest things you learned from them?
Everyone had a desire to have a regional authority. Everyone. The question is, what was it going to look like? Was it affordable? The big issue was whether or not this authority could afford to make payments, lease payments, to the city of Detroit.
Now, the outcomes of the financial working group was the key foundation for the signing of the MOU, correct?
I would argue absolutely yes. The process that led to MOU was you had the financial study group giving the county executives a picture of the viability of an authority. My job was to get these individuals in the room. I knew that they had a great deal of agreement, and initially focused on the areas of agreement, and these individuals, so-called Big Four, worked it out. They're the ones that came up with the MOU.
So you must have been very proud when the MOU was signed in September, I assume. It's a big day.
I thought it was a very good day for the region.